I hear from a lot from the media, from Biden, President Biden, others. Things are getting back to normal, right? You'll be able to go to your 4th of July barbecue. Jobs are roaring back, even though they're mostly non-living wage jobs. But we're on a reporting trip here. We're in Philly. We see mass homelessness, people facing evictions, massive gentrification, which Cleveland has experienced, other cities. There seems to be this kind of manufacturing of consent that everything's getting back to rosy, normal capitalist society. To you, is this normal to have explosions in homelessness, millions of people facing eviction, but nothing's being done about it? So many have lost health care. And what would you do right when you get in Congress immediately? What would be your first priority?
It wasn't normal before, and that's really what I want people to understand. The COVID pandemic just blew the top off of any delusion that we may have had. Normal for some people is painful, so we cannot go back to normal. We definitely have to see the promise in the problem. And the reason why I say promise in the problem, because really what COVID has done, if there is any positive side to this, is to give us the opportunity to go bold, to really see, if you didn't see before, what the challenges of race are, what the challenges of class are, what the challenges of this environment are. We can change those things. So again, systemic problems require systemic solutions. And I want to go to Congress to work with the Biden-Harris administration where possible, and I'm sure that we will find many things in common, and then to push further. Because if you are going in the right direction, we ought to keep going. So no, going back to normal is not good enough, because I've seen the pain. I'll give an example. SEIU was door knocking in my district, and they came across a home, and a mother, I know she's a mother now, but a woman came to the door and she was flustered, and the SEIU leaders asked her, can we talk to you about the campaign? And she said yes. And Samara, is the person who knocked on the door, said, I noticed you're flustered. How can I help you? She said, I'm trying to put together my bassinet. My baby's coming home from the hospital. So Samara came in and helped her put up bassinet, and she noticed that there wasn't a lot of food there, and that there was another child there, and that child was hungry. She immediately called me and told me this story, and I said, Samara, let's get her some food, and I'll split the cost with you. So, just even telling that story is bringing tears to my eyes. That's in the community that I live in. You can multiply that. You know why that hurts me? Because I, too, grew up in a home at times when there was not enough food to eat. So we, the collective we, especially those of us who have fancy titles, ought to be putting everything that we got towards changing a system that is rigged in every way against the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class. So if people want to know why Sister Turner gets, worked up about these things, it's because my lived experience informs me. But by the grace of God, that could be me again. So I feel people's pain right here. Not here, but right here. We can change these things. We can look at the military, industrial complex, the discretion, it doesn't have to be this way. And I don't want it to be this way. And so I am running to be in service to my district, the people in this district, centering the poor, but recognizing that I have an obligation to serve all people. Business people, small business people, civic-based people, all people from all walks of life, no matter how they identify. But my centering point is what is in the best interest of the least of these. That's what I am centering. And that is the vantage point that I am taking to Congress. I'm always going to ask for more for the poor people. And I'm not going to apologize for asking for more and pushing for more and fighting for more. And there's some things that we're going to be able to do in the Congress, and there's some things that we're going to be able to do on a community level by forging alliances with people who have resources that can bring about the change that the citizens and the residents of the 11th Congressional District deserve. The residents of the state of Ohio, 1 million people, lost their employer-sponsored health care. Why are we still commodifying health care in the United States of America when we have living proof in our time, not anything we read about, nothing we heard about, in our time, that almost 15 million people have lost their employer-sponsored health care, added to the already 80-something million people who are already uninsured and underinsured. So, Jordan, we know what the fixes are. You know what? It requires some intestinal fortitude to make the change. I believe that we can do it, and I'm certainly going there to help some people, some awesome people that are there fighting as hard as they can. You know, one of the endorsements that I'm very proud of, you know, my mayor, I got local council members even here in Akron. I just got the endorsement of the black elected officials of Summit County. You know, on the federal level, I have many endorsements, including Senator Sanders. Relationship, though, it wasn't just, it's a relationship endorsement. I'm working in the vineyard with him for the last 7 years. But the Congressional Progressive Caucus, which is the largest caucus, and there are a lot of fighters in that caucus. We need to elect more fighters to the Congress and more fighters on every level of government, because all of the problems that we have in this nation can't be solved by just one body. We need progressives in the legislature. I mean, Jordan, you've reported on some of the voting rights that are being stripped away because legislatures across this country that are run by Republicans have decided that if they can't win it, they cheat. And part of cheating is making it harder for people to vote. We can't stand that in the 21st century. So I'm going there to help change systemic problems.
Where do people go? Volunteer, support?
Yeah, just go to NinaTurner.com. Again, that's NinaTurner.com. On Twitter, it's at Nina Turner. Instagram, Nina Turner, Ohio. Any amount will help. People can also volunteer. They can text bank and they can phone bank. NinaTurner.com, all of the information to be able to volunteer from anywhere that they are to help this people power campaign, Jordan. My emphasis is on people power because when I go to Congress, the only interest I'm going to have to answer to is the interests of the people.